Was the reason why Jalen Carter isn't going to any other teams to visit outside the top 10 because the Eagles and Howie Roseman said, hey, yo, Jalen Carter, if you're at 10, we're taking you?
Dallas still stinks.
Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, and hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. You know, this is going to be a busy Philadelphia Eagles day because there's a lot of stuff going on regarding the draft. April is here, and this is when things turn up big time. Now, did the Eagles guarantee Jalen Carter that if he hits 10, if he lands at 10, they are taking him, that there is no way he is going to get past 10? And is this why Jalen Carter is not making any visits outside the top 10? Because he knows he won't get past the Eagles? And if so, is this a good thing for the Eagles that this is coming out? Or does this open up the door for a team to jump the Eagles and get Jalen Carter? Or is it just complete smokescreen? Who the hell knows what's going on? Who knows? But before we get into all this craziness, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, most throttled, pause, Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you've been subscribed for a while, I just want to thank you for all the support you guys give me. Just do me a favor, just double moonwalk check. Make sure you're still subscribed. I had 3 people overnight tell me that they were unsubscribed. They didn't know why, and it happened within the last 12 to 15 hours. So definitely just check, and I truly appreciate everybody's support. Dingbat Nation is like no other, okay? This channel is like no other because we allow disagreements, we allow fighting, we allow opinions, we even allow trolls. We allow it all, and I appreciate every one of you guys who, might not always agree with my opinion or what I have to say, but respect it, and I can respect people like that, and I respect every one of your opinions, even if you don't agree with me. But that's what it's about, debate here and discussion, and that's what makes it great. Now, getting into the whole Jalen Carter thing, right? We talked about this yesterday. Why isn't Jalen Carter going to visit any other teams outside the top 10? Isn't that kind of weird? Isn't that kind of crazy? And, I think it is kind of weird because why would you do that? You want to go visit every team possibly, especially when you're coming off the combine and what happened and then getting arrested and then going to the pro day being 9 pounds overweight. It just seems like to me the best course of action is to go visit everybody who wants to talk to you and talk to everybody, and that would be the thing to do. But if Jalen Carter was possibly told by a team, you're not getting past us, don't worry about anybody past the top 10, you're not getting out of there. That could be why Jalen Carter isn't going any other places. And that team could be the Philadelphia Eagles. It would make sense because they're not saying he's not going to visit anybody out of the top 8 or anybody out of the top 9. They're not going to visit anybody outside the top 10. That means they think the Eagles are going to draft him. That's what they're saying. He won't get past the Eagles. And I think the Eagles, if he's there, I think the Eagles are taking him. How could you not take the number 1 to 2 most talented player in the whole draft? And of course, I think the reason why this is very possible for the Eagles that they would draft Jalen Carter and go, even though he went through the stuff he's gone through this offseason, I think it's because you have Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean, his teammates that can speak for him and also could be great with the transition from moving to Georgia to Philly and going into the NFL. It makes a lot of sense, okay? And Pat McAfee, on the Pat McAfee show, shout out to him, I love the show, he had Daniel Jeremiah on, and Daniel Jeremiah and him were discussing why Jalen Carter wouldn't go to any other teams outside the top 10. McAfee thought it was kind of weird. I would love to play the clip, but every time I try to play clips like this, for whatever reason, and it always seems like it's just me, I always get copyrighted or in trouble for it. So I will leave the link in the description so you could see the clip. But essentially, McAfee's asking Daniel Jeremiah, why would this happen? And Daniel Jeremiah says, because somebody inside the top 10 basically most likely guaranteed him you're not getting past us. And if I had to guess, it would be the Philadelphia Eagles. On the Pat McAfee show, they posted on Twitter, the Eagles would be my educated guess on why Jalen Carter isn't taking meetings outside the top 10 at Move the Sticks, which is Daniel Jeremiah. And then Victor Williams, he tweeted something that backing it up. Well, I don't know if he's just commenting it. I think he's just commenting on it. But he says, Eagles pretty much told Carter, we're drafting you if available at 10. Don't even bother talking to anyone else, laugh out loud. Yeah, he's just repeating what he was saying. But if that's the case, if the Eagles actually did that, then that would make sense on why Jalen Carter isn't going to go visit any teams outside the top 10. And the only way he will is if those teams are going to trade up into the top 10. But it makes you wonder, because if this is the case, if this is true, I don't know that the Eagles would want this out, right? Why would you want this out? Because now any team picking behind you that wants Jalen Carter is going to look to trade up. They're going to look to go up to 8. They're going to look to go up to 9. They're going to look to jump up and take him before you can. Now, I don't even know if Jalen Carter is going to make it to the top 10, to number 10. It's so hard to figure out with this guy where he is and what teams think. We have heard things like the Eagles will take him at top 10 no matter what. And, teams like the Lions and the Raiders saying he's not even on our draft board. So I really don't know what to think. I don't know if this is just a smokescreen. Is this the agent creating hype by saying, you know what, we're just going to go visit top 10, and that'll create every team past the top 10 will feel like they have to trade up to get you, and anybody that really wants you will know who that is. I don't know. But I do know this. The Eagles value the defensive line. They value the trenches. And a defensive tackle pick would be an absolute... if they could get Jalen Carter, just from a talent standpoint, let's throw all the outside stuff and off the field stuff. Let's throw that out the window, because I know there's a lot of people who feel like they would avoid him because he seems like trouble and maybe that he isn't going to be, live up to his talent. But from a talent perspective, you just throw away the off the field stuff. This guy is a tremendous talent. I can't think of a better pick than him to replace Javon Hargrave. You lost a defensive tackle that had 11 sacks. We've talked all the time about blue chip players, about the Eagles having to get impact players. And I want 2 of them, mainly in the first round, that are going to come in and contribute. That's what I think the Eagles need. Now, I have another video coming out, and it's going to discuss, some draft options and stuff like that. And that was going to come out earlier today, but I decided to do this because this was kind of what everybody was talking to me about and asking me, on Twitter and DMing me to respond to. But I have another video coming out, and it discusses the possibility of doing different things at 10. And to me, when I look at the Eagles, I don't look at a team that is 2 or 3 years away from competing. I look at a team that could win the Super Bowl next year. I truly believe that with Jalen Hurts getting better another year, with those offensive players coming back and being together, if you can upgrade that run game, because I still think you have to do something with that, and then you can get, maybe one more piece on defense, I think the Eagles go back to Super Bowl. This team is not ready to just say, hey, we're taking 2-3 steps back and then we'll be ready to compete again. This team could go to the Super Bowl this year, but you have to try to at least replace or make the loss of a guy like Javon Hargrave not that bad. I think Jalen Carter would be the perfect situation for him. The question is did the Eagles tell him that? And if the Eagles tell him that, and that's out now and teams know it, is it going to screw the Eagles at the end of the day? Because now teams are going to say, you know what? We are going to sit there and try to jump the Eagles. It's going to be very interesting. Anytime you hear about team trying to trade up to jump the Eagles, you got to think it's about Jalen Carter. And could this be, maybe it wasn't the Eagles, maybe it was the Bears or somebody else? I don't know. It's not like Rosenhaus said, well, we're only visiting teams within the top 8. or the top 9. It's only the top 10. And maybe they already visited the Eagles, and then a team like the Bears said, hey, we're taking you at 9. And that's what it is. I don't know. But the Eagles and Jalen Carter look like they could be on a convergent path. It looks like it could be happening. They look like it looks like it could be the pick for the Eagles if he's at 10. Now, if he's not at 10, that's a whole nother story, and we'll get into that at some other time. But yeah, what do you guys think? Does Jalen Carter coming to the Eagles or not going out of any top 10 visits? Do you think the Eagles said, Jalen, don't bother, we're going to draft you if you're at 10? Are the Eagles the reason Carter is only staying within the top 10? I think it's a fascinating story, and it's something that we have to watch. And if the Eagles did say that and it came out, or people are thinking the Eagles said it, could this backfire on the Eagles and now make somebody come up and jump the Eagles? So it's going to be an interesting situation. I think at the end of the day, Jalen Carter, the best fit for the Eagles, best fit for him is the Eagles because of the players he's played with before. And I just think it may be a good place for him to land. Just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you haven't and you want your Draft 5 hats, we're pre-ordering now. Click the link in the description. Go check them out. If you want Bijan Robinson at some point in this draft like me, you definitely want to get yourself one of these. We'll be wearing these on draft night, and we may cut our pre-order date back. We might have to cut it back just because we want to make sure we can get all these out and sent to you guys before draft night so you have them. But Draft 5, you got to love it. And if they do take Carter at 10, then you know what we got to do with that 30th pick. We got to trade up, in my opinion. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. My man Joe Castro, shout out to him. He posted something earlier today too. He's saying that he's hearing the Eagles are seriously open to taking Bijan Robinson at 10. Other names, Lucas Van Ness, Paris Johnson Jr., Peter Skoronski, however you say his name, and Jalen Carter. Makes perfect sense. And we might need to speak to my man Joe Castro. Denzel Washington out.